Hey beautiful people. So today we're going to touch base on instant transformations, instant gratifications, and why I'm a big advocate of them not lasting. So as usual, tune in with me and let's discuss this in a pretty straightforward video and see what else comes up as we go along. In a world of quick fixes and instant gratification, it's really easy these days, especially to know from the credible sources from what is just sales. But the hype of instant transformations is very easy to get caught up in and hyped on, and it's until you have like one or two. How many of us have tried those coaches that are maybe doing a 4-week course, and you might start and you'd be like so buzzed, and then you're like, really didn't get to where I want to be, so you move on to the next. By the second and third, you're like, okay, something's not working. And it's because really, when you're working one-to-one, there's a personal element to it. When you're working one-to-one, whether it's online or in person, it's more catered. Even when I've got like online classes, those that are in the online classes also have one-to-one coaching or separate sessions with me. And so I'm very familiar for when we have online classes on those that actually hate some of the exercises that we're doing. But I know their needs, I know how to adapt to my clients' wants, and I also know what really pushes and motivates them. I understand them basically. And what an online package does when you just sign up for the form, it doesn't have that element in it, but it's got the immediate rush. So a great example would be if I've got loads of cameras zooming in on me, zooming out, and every time in this video there's something that pops up, grabs your attention, and you're going to be pulled to that a lot more than to this basic video. But maybe the quality of the content is not going to be as good. It's going to be attractive. It's going to be an instant capture. It's going to be an instant gratification. And it's very similar to all the instant transformations and quick fixes we're seeing, like fat burners or supplements. Those things that I've discussed in a recent video. Oh, I can't remember what the video was called. I actually said don't waste your money on these things, but that wasn't the title of the video, but that was an element of it. If I can remember, I will note it in this description box. So that's what we're going to discuss. Just before I dive into it a little bit more, I would love to know from my subscribers, what time and days do you watch YouTube? So do you mainly focus during the weekend, or do you, because I've noticed on my other channel, it can be all the time. I've noticed on the fitness, but it is a bit smaller at the moment, it's randomly on the weekends. So maybe like the serious stuff of where on the weekends you want to relax and not think of like being disciplined, etc. Maybe that's not where you do it, but then other people, maybe that's when you've got time. So I'd love to know from you, what is your time zone that you usually check the videos that are most suitable for you to check and watch? And is there a difference between weekdays and weekends? And is weekends more than weekdays or not? Because we've always got our phone in our hands, right? And I'd also appreciate, as well as seeing the shorts, when you do like or resonate with something, let me know what you're working on, but also check the videos that are either linked in the description box, which recently I saw that, I'm not sure you can all see those in the description box. I've pinned a couple in the comments, which is really annoying because all the shorts revert to a video or something that will complement that short, or the short complements the video coming out. So that's been a bit frustrating nevertheless. So yeah, do let me know that so that I can better cater. And then share the videos with people that are going to benefit from them. And if you've got any questions, happy to answer with them. if you want to work with me, my email is zanzoon@hotmail.com. It's in the description box below. My website is coachingbyzain.net. It's getting revamped at the moment. It should be ready within the next 2-4 days. I'm just updating a couple of the elements on it, and that has all my services. But in the meantime, you can email me about whatever it is that physical fitness goals, mindset goals, cognitive behavioral therapy, leadership goals, life coaching, your life purpose, energy healing, yoga. There's a lot. So yeah, you will know from my content most of the services that I provide. Fitness obviously spans from competing to strength training, weight loss, fat loss, conditioning, stamina in terms of cardiovascular, mobility, return from trauma or injury, and that's where also yoga ties in, and other fitness goals. Basically, I cover all your fitness goals. Right, so let's go into transformation. Instant transformations and gratifications don't last. So that's what I think most of us will know. The problem is when it's made to look attractive is we're like, maybe this one's the right one. Okay. People dream of waking up with a six-pack or $1 million in their bank account, but don't want to put the work in. And we're not patient enough either. Like often we will have a goal and we go in full force, and then it's kind of like the motivation dies down, doesn't it? That's where a coach can be helpful, but the motivation dives down. But if you give someone who's overweight or really obese or a very high fat percentage abs overnight, or a broke person $50,000, they're likely to revert in 6 months. Why? Because neither worked for the goal or built positive habits for real lasting change and sustainable change. Whereas if the person who was overweight, obese, worked for their abs, they've been through that journey, and most probably, likely, sometime during that journey hired a coach where it's helped them. And if a broke person's found a job, really worked their way up and managed to save $50,000, again, there's been a journey there, and there's been a goal they've built on it, they've built habits and the real lasting change that's needed. A lot of the mindset videos and mental health videos in the playlist of the mindset and mental health touch base on habits. So does, for example, a video I said about, well, basically I discussed the most successful clients or what I've seen in them in terms of their traits. I can't remember the video. Find it in physical fitness and maybe in the mental health and habits, mindset habits. But really it's about habits for success, and that will be very helpful. I said I would make a note about one of the videos at the beginning. I always have so much that I want to share with everyone that I tend to then forget what. But to be honest, let's just give me a bit of thing. I do always link them in the description box, don't I? So I can't remember the first one. I will remember it and I'll tag it. So if you magically turned someone who was, like I said, obese or ripped overnight into an athlete, the chances of them going back to their old habits and their old body within 6 months, possibly less, is very high. The same with have you seen and heard of those people that win the lottery and then they just lose their money or spend all their money and suddenly they're actually more broke than where they were? Two elements ties in that. they've not, or if they've inherited a bunch of money, they've not sustained the journey and the habits that we mentioned, and had the goal and actually worked for it. And number two, there's a self-worth thing there with the money, but that's separate to the physical fitness. That's only because I'm a coach and I know that. So without building proper habits to maintain a new physique, all right, it's not going to be lasting. Or to maintain the newfound wealth, it's not going to last. And the truth is, lasting change comes from building those right habits. It's not about quick fixes or transformations. Try not to get caught up in the latest hype or trend of how a body should look, or which coach is actually coaching something that looks attractive, or their body looks attractive. It's really important to do so. But for example, I would say that you also need to just make sure that they have the credibility, the information, that when you're working with them, you can see how they've transformed their body. That's really important as well, but how they can really answer your questions. And it's not about the quick fixes. It's not about what looks attractive capturing your attention. It's about the small, consistent steps, goals, changes over time that eventually add up to big results that last. And also, on that journey, you're tested with your patience, your motivation, the things that you really need to find the inner strength of to keep going. And that's why I always say transformation in terms of your physical well-being or fitness, your fitness goals, takes a long time. I'll give you another example and try not to divert after this. When you are overweight and you want to lose weight, it can take a long time to start, and then you eventually do, okay? Firstly, you might be in a vicious cycle of like, I'm trying to lose weight, something happens, you eat for emotional eating, and so on and so on. And then you start to lose weight. When you start to lose weight, you'll see the weight come off and you'll be very motivated. Then you hit a bit of a plateau, or you need to amend your goal to maybe, now I'm going to focus on a lot more of a strength training goal, but also try and bring the fat percentage down as opposed to the focus of the weight loss. So you often reach a plateau, and it's about eventually the steps you take on that journey adds up to the big results. When you reach that plateau, or we reach a stop, like I said, they're the times we're really tested. And that's why it's helpful to have a coach, because they can motivate you, but a coach you connect with. And that's why I always mention that you relate with. Find someone who's credible, who's qualified, who's done the transformations themselves, who has the clients that they've transformed as well, but someone who can speak to you and someone who you feel relaxed with as well. Focus on building the right habits that will help you achieve your goals in the long run, and stop being afraid of the hard work. We're so unafraid of getting uncomfortable that sometimes it stops us in our tracks. And if we've heard of it, we've heard of people that are like, I wish I started this 5 years ago. I really wanted to, but I was like so frightened, and also the uncomfortable feeling of doing it just kept stopping me. Like if you're overweight or obese, or if you're in a job you hate, for example, sometimes it will take forever for some people to leave. And then when they do, they're like, I wish I'd done it earlier. And so that's what I have for you in terms of instant transformations don't last. And also just really giving you advice to not always take the easy way out, because sometimes that is not sustainable, because we've not adapted to the habits and the journey that's needed along the way. And find a coach that will help you as well, especially if you failed on your own, because the coach will help you do that. And you know, at the end of the day, when you've worked hard on something, you feel more worthy of it. And that's when you're able to continue with it as well. just on the other side of the life coaching element I put in. So everyone, I'd love to hear from you on my question of when you check YouTube, your time zone as well, and also what's the other content you want to see. I recently just released a short saying about about hormones and snacks that would be beneficial during your menstrual cycle, the 4 different phases. I will also cover the sort of exercise I have done in a yoga healing video. I think it's the first yoga one, and it's basically says when, you know, sort of the different yoga would be beneficial during your menstrual cycle. You can get an idea there, but cardio is better at certain stages. Strength training, if you do strength training, you get a real boost of strength during certain stages. If you're still feeling fine but you're trying to get pregnant, certain stages you need to ease that stress, you need to ease certain exercises, and feed your body certain snacks. You don't have to follow this religiously, but if you know about it and you've got 2 options of a snack, you know what to go for, and so it's very helpful. Coming out, you're going to see, like I said, 4 ways to prevent, manage and overcome burnout. And after that, I will be looking, in that video I mentioned a second follow-up video. And in terms of mental health as well, I'm going to do one on the root causes of depression and anxiety. So if that's of interest to you as well, please do let me know in the comments so I know where to focus the next videos. And having said that, I'll see you in our next video, whether it's mental health, whether it's your mindset and your goals, whether it's physical fitness and your goals, whether it's yoga, whether it's healing, whether it's overall general health of like supplements, foods, etc. Whatever it takes your interest, that will be my next focus as well. And if you're mainly here for fitness, I've got another fitness video coming up for you soon as well. So check that out, stay tuned, subscribe so you get notified. And I hope you all have an amazing day wherever you are. If you're going to the gym, yesterday I did legs. I'm hopefully waiting to be sore tomorrow. And if I'm not, I know I did a hard workout. But today I believe I've got chest, and then I do like one shoulder and a tricep, so that is a bit of a push. But because I separate my shoulders as well, I don't do much there. So let's see. And a couple of clients have various stuff actually, so we'll see how that goes. It's Saturday. If it's your day off, take a rest day. I took my rest day before yesterday, and I definitely will be going out to meet a couple of friends. So whether you want to be a hermit and recharge, or whether you want to meet with your friends and really just break away from your week, or if your weekend and day off is coming up, I hope you have a lovely one. Take care. I'm blabbing away as usual, and have an amazing day wherever you are. Bye for now.